Hello world! WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now we do have a bit of stuff that we're going to need to do right away, so let's try to get cracking, get some of our machines going, and perhaps maybe if we can get some sort of energy network going. Now what we're going to need to do is sort through a bunch of our junk and actually refine a lot of this leaden stuff, etc., etc. Now, the macerator might be a good idea, but the pulverizer, I want to see if the recipe is difficult at all. It requires flint and copper. It's actually a little more difficult, but requires a redstone reception coil, and it requires a machine frame. So I'm guessing that is not going to be what we need right away. So let's see if we can actually get some flint from any of our chests. We only have one piece of flint currently, and nothing else to actually double our ore output. What we're going to need to do though is plant a few of our rubber saplings that we have. Well, we don't really have many rubber saplings, so we have to pretty much plant all of them. But we can pretty much just go back into the forest whenever we need to, and get some of our stuff. Now, we're going to also need to get this up and running, get a few more cables going. And do we have any of our tin processed yet? Yes, we only have 4 pieces of tin, and that's pretty much all we have. Okay. How are we going to want to start creating energy? Well, the main things that we'll want to do to create energy is a tree farm and a peat farm. Now, the peat bog is going to take a bit of effort. Okay, apparently that's a work in progress. Okay. Peat bog takes quite a bit of stuff. Well, some copper and tin electron tubing to actually get fully operational. But probably what we're going to do for now is head out into the wild blue yonder, get some stuff going, maybe get some cows, because a cow is definitely what we're going to need. So let's get rid of a lot of our useless stuff. Maybe we can plant some of our sugar cane at one of these areas. Heck, why not? Oil's good for these, right? I do think so. Speaking of which, there's nothing related to oil with skeletons. Okay, so moving onwards, we're going to need to grab a few resources. So we're going to actually, right now, make some seeds, like get a bunch of wheat, because we're going to need to create a pit to get some cows, because we're going to need to get some breeding. Now, the feed station from Railcraft is not too difficult to make, but we are going to need a rolling machine. We're going to need more. Okay, we're not going to be able to do the feed station right away, so it won't be automatic whenever we actually do get cows, which is going to be a long way. Now, the reason we would want to have cows is because we're going to want 2 things that involve leather. Well, technically 2 things that involve books. We're going to want an enchantment room and all the sort of bookcases that will require it. And we're also going to require some linking books. Linking books to go to other ages, because, hey, fun stuff in other ages. So let's make some tilled stuff. That's really descriptive way. I cannot believe how much of a wordsmith you have become in the short time that I have known you. Which is I won't even explain that joke. It was so horrible. Okay, and this stuff cannot really go here. It's going to need some stable source of water, which, once again, we're going to use our nice little, or we could use this. That works too. Hopefully it doesn't get trampled on because we don't really have any way to protect it currently. So 4 seeds to start off with. Hopefully they don't all die. Worst comes to worst, we're going to have to get some more seeds to get more wheat. So I'm just going to actually create with some of this bone meal some wheat in which we can lure in some cows, hopefully get them in a nice pit, and then Bob's your uncle. Now another thing we might as well grab while we're out here, other than just like a bit of stone, is to go out and grab a bunch of this nice and lovely clay. I believe it's going to come in handy in a lot of recipes. For instance, the coke oven is going to require a lot of this stuff, so we might as well get quite a bit of this. Now, I want to check the clay. I think there are more than just a few recipes that actually require this as a main thing. For instance, an insulated coil will require that and clay, lead rather, and it's required to make clay dust, and also we can macerate it to get clay dust, which is required in what? Well, construction foam. And for silicon cells, which are required in what else? Solar panels. Oh, that's going to be fun. So I'm guessing that some fun stuff in either Compact Solars or Gregor's Tech has made solar panels become a little more difficult than they were before. So we're going to need to actually get quite a bit of this clay. Maybe starting with a standard coke oven, we can get some of that stuff ready for railcraft, and then we can go on to more fun stuff. Now, maybe you can also bring some of these sheep in, and also grab some grass blocks. Is there any other way to make grass blocks? We could use a scrap box. That might prove useful. Unfortunately, we don't have any means to make a scrap box, so we might as well just collect our dang clay. Now, another thing that might prove useful is if we actually bring a few sheep to our area. There might be a few things where we're going to need wool. For instance, I believe some of our apiary stuff does require wool as one of the many ingredients, and it will be required later on when we do red power, which will require a lot of wool. So, going to require to make a pit first. Let's just make a little cramped one, and we'll be able to get out that way and bring in the sheepies. Come on. They act like they're not interested. Come on. Okay, you're here. Dang, you're pathfinding. There we go. 1 down. And 2 down. Okay, now we just have to hope that a creeper or a zombie doesn't come in and kill him. Okay, speaking about zombies, we're gonna have to handle this one. And we have a bit of wood so we can make some more charcoal. Now we're gonna need to go on a bit bigger of an expedition to do some of that charcoal goodness. But, give it time, we'll actually be able to get some stuff. Okay, so another thing that we're going to need to cook right away is a bunch of this clay. Well, maybe not right away, strictly speaking, but it's going to need to come in quick enough time so that we can actually get some other stuff going. Now, to be able to get some coal coke from the coal thingamabobbers, I am really losing it today. Microblock structures. There it is. I saw it. Coke oven. To get coal coke from the coke oven, we actually need coal to do so. Actually do stuff with it. Now, I'm not sure about you, but currently I do not have much in the way of coal supplies, so I'm going to have to go out and get some of that. Also, dumping a bunch of my needless junk into here. My needful is going to have to stay in my possession. We're going to have to probably go out and get a few more things to be able to do that. Now, on the light of good news, we do manage to have 3 flint, I do believe. It's in this backpack. No, that's the copper. I thought there you are. You were trying to hide from me. Tisk tisk. Okay, so macerators. The macerator will require an electronic circuit, and we are going to need to get some more rubber for that. In fact, I think I do have the stuff required to do so. Now, I do have my tree tap, so I should have that on my hotbar, since abracadabra, hocus pocus, we have rubber trees. Now, if we actually do have some rubber on here, we'll be pretty set, but we might not actually have any rubber on this first tree. Oh, thank goodness we do. Okay, so get this out of the way. Pop. There we go. One down. Okay, none there. None there. I am really unlucky with this rubber, aren't I? None there. You gotta be kidding me. Waste. Waste, 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 waste. Get away from me. Okay, so obviously one of the trees is ineffectual, so we can't use that. But we do have one extra bit of rubber, and it might be just enough to do some damage. Now, we do have one extra rubber sapling now, so we can plant that in the hopes of actually getting something, which is starting to look like it's not a very big possibility. So let's get this. No, no. Okay, we got another. And only one on this one. That's a real shame. So we'll have to wait for those leaves to decay to get some more stuff. That'll be fine. We got some 4 rubber in here. We'll cook that up. And we got some more extra stuff in there, so we can just get that. Use some of the charcoal to burn that. And we can get our circuit started. Now we're going to need 2 more redstone. We have the required copper, and now we do have the required rubber amount. So let's go in. We got it. Make our insulated rubber wires right off the bat. And we're going to need all 6 of these with an refined iron and 2 redstone to get an electronic circuit. Now combining this with another one of these machine blocks, we can put cobblestone here and here, add the flint, and an electronic circuit to get our macerator. Now doing this ahead of time, we'll just get some more uninsulated cabling, add some rubber to it, and there is something attacking me. You are very rude, throwing arrows into my base. What do you think the neighbors will think? Come on. Oh no. I am starting to think that this is not the best location for anything whatsoever in the way of survival. Okay, I am actually gonna die soon. I am gonna die. Yeah, that's very fun. The fact that I am kind of dying right now. Did I hear that? Okay. Okay. Macerator down. We have energy. You don't have any energy here, but we got 3,200 in there. So this just drained 800 EU, and I believe that's what it takes up for that. Okay, we got some more rubber saplings, so it's not an entire loss. This is becoming a really, really long night. And not the good types of long nights. The bad type. 3, 4, 1 here. No, not there, there. Put that down. We're going to need to cut down that tree because it's useless. But everything else, I think we have good. So let's, might as well have some fun, throw this gold ore into here to actually get the 2 gold dust that we're going to need. And we'll just fill this macerator with a bit more energy. I think 8 of our charcoal, actually 2 more than that, will be sufficient. And it's almost daytime, so we don't have too much worrying left. Now let's go and feed the sheep. Feed the beast. Wahaha. Feed the sheep so that we actually get some lovin' going. And you are starting to... there we go. Be nice, make babies. And you have gray wool. So, eventually we're probably going to want to get some sort of grass line to go way over here. Because we're going to need our sheep to actually be able to create, you know, more wool from what they have, because there's no point in having sheep if you can't have them as a renewable resource. Okay, so that was good, but to make sure that we don't lose anything, we're going to can we macerate our lead? Obviously we cannot. That is unmaceratable. So let's macerate some of our iron instead. That's still going strong. I don't think we'll want too much, so let's go with that for now, because we're going to need to keep our energy reserves as high as possible. Now, these we're going to want to replace with electric furnaces, because they'll be a lot more efficient. It'll take another iron furnace and electronic circuits, so we're going to need some more. So how did you grow? I don't think I put bone meal on you. Then again, Way, why are you freaking complaining? It's good that you didn't have to use bone meal on the bloody thing. Did I say bloody before? Yeah, sorry about that. Ooh, hoo, hoo. There we go. Okay, we got one. And let's see if we have anything else. No, no, no. One. Okay, that's not too bad considering. Okay. Did I say okay before? Yes, I think I did. So, okay, let's go onwards. We'll place some more wires down here because we're going to need some more stuff. This macerator we have pretty much as is. We'll need to combine it with some more stuff later. What are we going to do? I think keeping one macerator here for now will be sufficient. We're going to need to go out on another rubber finding binge, because the next thing to be as efficient as possible is to get an extractor. An extractor is going to take another electronic circuit, but we are running low on refined iron, so we're going to need to, well, refine some iron. I think that is the right direction to go. So we'll take one of these, and that is a little sad, honestly. Okay, now with this we'll just make it an iron furnace for now, because we're going to need to combine it to the electric variant. And we're actually going to need to get the rubber. So let's go on a bit of a binge. Not quite the right connotation for saying binge, but oh well. Stop pushing your mommy and daddy out of the way. They kind of want to be in a good place. And don't jump out. That is not nice. That is not nice of you. I don't know why, but it isn't. And Way's last drag of sanity. Maybe you should just say, instead of saying that, Way's last drag of vocabulary, because it's completely shot. Okay, I have a sufficient amount of rubber to get along with. I think just burning 2 of them shall be good. I wonder what the heck that is. And that, I have no clue. Pipe items, redstone extractor. What are you? Whatever. Okay, so let's get a bit more rubber so that we can make that furnace that we were planning on making. I think it's gonna require 3 iron? No. 2 redstone, that's what it's gonna require. Okay, let's throw this away. this away. We're not going to need that right now. This, and we're going to require that. Throw this, this, I don't know. This and this. Okay. We're going to need to refine this, but eventually we're going to have one of those fun things anyway, so we might as well wait for the blasted things. Okay. One more, and we should be good to go. Huzzah! There we go. Okay. So, copper, refined iron, and might as well iron. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got our circuit, and combine the circuit over here with 2 redstone, and we have our electric furnace. So now this will complement the Macerator quite very well. Did I say Macerator? I cannot believe I said that. And we'll be able to make things a lot more efficiently than the stuff that we have right now. I believe the ratio is 7.5 to 10. Like, this takes that much less time. I don't know. It's just take my word for it. It takes a lot less energy to use the electric furnace overall than it does to use the coal fire. Ah, yes, that's the ratio. It's basically, this is 10 over 8 times better, basically 5 over 4, than the other variant. And you can make energy in other ways other than coal. Now, I think, actually, does cactus have an ability to be burned? 120 EU per item. I guess if I just went through this area, it's good, but considering how much the charcoal can produce, I think just going out and mining would be a much better use of my time and my energy and resources. Also, maybe going out and actually getting some cobblestone so I could get some more stuff than I currently do would be a good idea. But this also means that I won't have to worry about the number of items that I put into it. I don't have to have it as a multiple of 8 because that's what's needed to use the charcoal. But I can just be awesome at that. Okay, so we'll just refuel this energy reserves while we're doing this. I think we can macerate a few more things, and then we'll chuck in a bit of clay and then get that working as we are probably doing other things. Now, this lead we're going to want to get refined eventually, but it's... what the heck? Steel leaf? I don't even know. Okay. So lead ore, it's used to smelt the ingots. You can use powered furnace, but you have to use a pulverizer to be able to do that. And you have a chance of getting silver. But if you use an induction smelter, it requires sand, which I have a lot of. Well, which I can get a lot of. And it makes twice, but it can get slag, which is used to make light rock wool, which is an unburnable wool. And that's about it. Not much point of doing that, is there? No. Okay. I'm gonna make a few shears with our 2 remaining iron, and then we'll make a bed so that we can actually do some stuff other than cowering in fear from the monsters. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, now I'm gonna have to get out here. There we go. Careful planning. Haha. I just scarred the child because he or she saw their parents naked. Yes, traumatizing. And of course, I am missing one vital ingredient, which is wood. There we go. Problem solved. Okay, now craft this together. We'll be able to make a bed. And we actually have the perfect amount. Okay, that's good. 2 light gray, 1 normal wool. Got the bed. We'll place it down. And night-night. Okay, that's enough. Okay, I went out and got myself a lot of wood. I think over 2 stacks is going to be sufficient for what we're going to need to do next. Let's pull this out and start processing at least a stack of our wood into a bunch of charcoal because we're going to need a lot of charcoal to power up our generators in the future. Okay, so we still have this macerator, that's good and everything, but we're going to want to make a bit more refined iron, or rather, we're going to want to make an extractor to be more efficient in the sticky resin department. Now what we're going to need to do is then make some more wires to make a circuit. Now I want to make sure we're going to need 6 more refined iron. I can see that right away. So let's get our extractor up. And it's going to, yep, require 6 more iron to be refined. And that means I'm going to have to cook my iron instead. So let's get this out. Then we'll take some of this so that only 6 remain. And there we go. We got our 6 iron getting ready, and we'll get that finished, and we'll then need to refine it. And we're also, we already have our rubber, so then we won't need to do that. Now we'll actually need to get some more tree taps, so that will require 5 logs. What the heck are you? Minotaur axe. That could be interesting. Okay. I'll check that up later. 4 tree taps, consuming a lot of my inventory space. Let's check that. No way to get that currently. Pressing button. Nope, not getting anything. Exo upgrade. This requires leather boots. I'll figure that stuff out later. Okay, so this is done. We'll throw it back into that. Shouldn't take too much longer. While we're doing that, however, we should start macerating some of our more interesting stuff. So we're going to need silver eventually, so we might as well macerate that. It's actually working, so that is a good thing. How much do we have? Okay, we might as well make that other circuit. So we got our copper here. We'll combine it with this, and we got this, which is amazing. I'm gotta say. Yep. Okay, I'm just making a fool of myself again. Moving onwards. Okay, we got our circuit. Now all that we're going to need to do is get those 3 remaining refined iron from here. Let's continue smelting all that stuff. We'll combine it together, make a machine block. We'll then combine it with the rest of our stuff. And for some reason, is there a way to put it in easily? No. Shift clicking does not seem to work. Anyways, we got our extractor. And we might as well rubber all of these up because we're going to need them eventually. Even though we already have that there. Okay, now that our extractor is down, we can get our sticky resin, put it in, and be a bit more efficient. Time-wise, it's slightly less efficient, though if we had multiple extractors, who really cares? But it's going to work slowly enough, but surely enough, and we will get a lot of rubber and can just rely on our few logs that are here. Now, speaking of which, we should probably do something so that we can realize which log is which, because I'm going to need to cut down one of these logs, and please don't tell me I cut down the wrong log for this one. Nothing. No holes. No holes. And I probably did. Fudge. Fudgesicles. Fudge nuggets. Nuggets of fudge and awesomeness. Okay, obviously that is a little bad considering what we needed. Okay. Now, another thing we might want to make is a recycler eventually. What the heck are you even for? Blah. Okay. We need glowstone dust to make that, so there's no point even attempting to make that. Though it might be a little awesome later on, though I kind of am just jumping around the point. Okay. Now another thing that we'll want to make is some good old-fashioned electrical tools. Now one of the main things we'll want to make is a bat pack so that we can store our entity detector bat. Oh, that's probably for railcraft. Okay, carrying on. And there's a battery block. I'm going to have to check what all of these are because I'm getting rather confused. Okay, bat pack is going to require 6 batteries, tin, and electric circuit. So do we have enough redstone for that? We do not. So that, I guess, is something that we're going to have to wait for a bit to make. But we can instead make the drills because we should have enough stuff for that. The mining drill is going to be a bit more expensive than I thought. An electric circuit, that's fine enough for me. So we'll need to make another electric circuit. We are going to have the required rubber to do so. Are you good? You're good. Okay, let's take that and smelt this stuff. We'll keep this remaining wood in here. Sort. Okay, onwards. Okay, how many times am I going to say okay before I actually make up my mind on something? Ooh, we have exactly enough tin and we don't have enough for refined iron, do we? Okay. Danke. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to stop saying that because I'm being a dull dork. Okay. Make it stop. Let's see. We'll take this together and we'll use the remaining of our tin. We're going to really need to go on a mining expedition afterwards, and we got an RE battery, which will then combine after we make an electric circuit with some more refined iron, like so, and with the battery. Okay, it needs to be fully charged, the battery, unless it requires refined iron. You son of a... Okay, apparently I cannot currently make this, so that's going to be another annoyance that we're going to have to handle. And this, speaking of which, is out of power, so we're going to need to flood this. That's not where I flood that, do I? Okay. Feed that up. We'll actually continue extracting, macerating. This is finished macerating, so we can put this silver dust in here. And eventually we'll just macerate a lot more because we'll need some more stuff. However, we're going to need to go out and get sand and make a coke oven. Also, we're going to need to get a bunch of the general materials, so probably going out with a bunch of pickaxes and our supply bag empty, and we should be able to get enough stuff to at least get a healthy supply of whatever we're going to need. Now also, I should probably sort this and also get a bunch of seeds and get a protected area for all of my wheat, because we're going to need a place that cannot easily be trampled, and we might as well get a head start on getting a good seed supply, because we're going to need to use that to make apiaries to continue our voyage and all of that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. I'm gonna have to make a blast furnace to be able to... What the heck are you? I probably saw you. I'm gonna have to make a blast furnace, which is gonna require slime balls, which is going to require a lot of stuff. Let's just... Ooh. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.